So pretty excited about today, man. This will be great for us. Questions?
Practice the other day, shoulder, just got an update on.
Yeah, we're getting it checked now. We'll know more in due time,
He's had a bunch of injuries to start his career. Just how do you keep the arrow pointing up when he's missing time like this?
Yeah, I mean, you hate it for the kid. You hate it, and it's not his fault, and just one of those tough deals. All you can do is try to get it better and rehab, come back stronger, and move on. That's all you can do.
I'll ask you about just running backs. How do you know as a head coach as far as when someone's losing their potency as a running back? Are you looking at stats? Is it how they cut, their endurance? Like what kind of markers do you look for to see kind of a little bit?
Well, I think you can see that. I think you can see it with your eyes. You can see it on tape. You can, I think it, some of the, whether it's you lose a little bit of the burst or the pop or the cut or I just think your eyes can tell you a lot about that, and then usually I think what happens is the numbers will back that up, but you don't look at the numbers first. You look at what they look like on tape.
What do you expect to see as far as the starters aren't playing in the preseason, but in the joint practices? Will that give you a better sense of the full contact of what the running backs can do?
Yeah, look, this is not just them. I mean, really, all of our guys that may not play in these preseason games, this is their chance to get that type of preseason work, but under, a more controlled environment. That's why I like it. So we've got to put this type of intensity on them. But yeah, we'll be able to tell a ton about the backs, the line, the D line, the backers, linebackers. Those are the guys that really get stressed. I mean, you can get a lot of the work in on the perimeter, the bigs, but the linebackers, the tight ends, the running backs, that's where, man, they really, really benefit from this type of work.
One of my favorite quotes is you said, "We don't live off reputation, we live off work." What's the toughest lesson you hope players take away from last season and head into this one?
No, well, I've kind of said this before. I think it's more with every year that your club matures, when you get another year under your belt, and so, and you don't finish the way you wanted to finish. You learn something, and I think it's you don't take that for granted. You don't take those opportunities for granted. There is more of a sense of urgency that just happens organically, I think, is what happens. So you embrace every moment. You make sure that every young guy that comes in, there's an emphasis on, man, this is important. We know you just walked in the door. We may need to lean on you. We may need your help, but you got to understand, where we've been and what we've done, and you got to get up to speed fast, because it's going to take every one of us, and we can't afford for anybody to have an error that's going to cost us.
Last week, Hendon Hooker talked about how he felt like he was in the right place physically, but wanted to be in the better place mentally. I know it's hard for you to get inside of his head, but where do you see him at this point mentally on the field?
Well, he's better than he was in the spring, as far as, man, getting the plays in, getting them out, running the offense, seeing the coverage, getting the checks, things of that nature. He has been better with that. And so there's these things I told you the other day in the game, man. He got us to a couple of plays that I was like, okay, that's good to see. That's growth. But yet there's still a couple of things, communication error here or there. Couple of the throws here. You want to be more accurate. So, I think a Hooker is just keep diving into the work, keep getting the reps, and he just needs some small victories. He just needs a few wins here, just to stack some back-to-back reps, back-to-back days, and I think that's going to do him wonders, And look, he's working, he grinds at it. He's very coachable. He certainly has the ability, and he's going to get his opportunity. He's going to get his opportunity. I already said he's starting this week, and we're going to give him a load here and see what he can do with it.
Today's day 10 of camp. How satisfied are you with the progression of your starting offense?
Yeah, well, I would tell you it's about where we've been. It feels like every camp it's, there's things that you see that you're growing at and you like, and then there's things you're frustrated with. Some of the, we jump off sides here, or we're not in the right split here, or we fumble the ball here. And those are all things that, like, this time of year, you hate to say it, but they should, they rear their head a little bit. And we gotta clean all of that stuff up. And we will. We've put an emphasis on it. We've talked about it. But I like where we're going. I do. I feel like we get a little bit more in rhythm. We get a little bit better every day. And with another game, that's only going to help communication, all those things. And then we'll get another game and more practices. And so I like where we're at.
Tim Patrick, a week ago, about just not being happy with where he was at. He was kind of feeling sluggish. What do you see from him so far in this game? How do you get him to pick it up a little bit, I guess?
Yeah, well, look, Tim's hard on himself too now. Look, he hasn't been targeted a bunch. That doesn't help, when you're doing a lot of the dirty work and you really haven't had many balls go your way, that, and you're a receiver, that makes it a little bit hard. But I would tell you, it's not as bad as he's portraying it. Tim, we know what Tim is. He's just a steady, reliable veteran guy, plays big. He's smart, hard worker, and, man, he's going to put his days back to back, and he's going to be just fine.
What's the relationship the last 3 Morgan and Shepard so far? Because we hear a lot of yelling because of the media protocol. We're not allowed to report what they say, but we hear a lot of back and forth between them. Just the defensive staff, the offensive staff.
With who? I'm sorry. Where did you start with that?
Coordinators.
Oh, yeah.
And all the staff, and just the rivalry that builds within camp, and the back and forth chess match. How have you seen that evolve in the first few weeks here?
Yeah, it's been good. It's kind of business as usual for us. It's a competitive environment. It's there's everybody wants to win, and then let them know when they win. So it's pretty good, man. It's the right kind of spirit. I don't think we take it too far, but it's a great mix, man. Because it's the same thing. It's no different than the players, man. The emotions run high. But you're trying to win. You're trying to do it the right way. And then when you walk off the field, everybody's, arm in arm and jabbing at each other about the way that they argue with the other person, So it's good.
Last 2, Ben.
I saw Dan Jackson landed on injured reserve today. Just wondering prognosis for him and timeline. Obviously not. Yeah. Yeah,
it doesn't look good. That's another one. We're still, we're sending this out to a few more places. But it's, it looks like he's going to be down for a while.
Yeah, if you want to follow up with Dennis. Is there an early assessment of the long-term or potential short-term nature of what he's dealing with?
Tough to say. It's a shoulder. I think it's going to be a while at best. I think it's going to be a while.
Dan come back? He's on IR right now.
Can he come back?
Is he out for the year?
You may go get Disner or one of these guys to come down here and explain this thing to you. There's about 1 million things here that can happen with it. So all I can tell you is he's on IR right now. So I wish I could give you more. All right. Yeah.